What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Soulfly Trades here, back with another video. And in this video, I just want to talk about how important it is to trust your plan pre-market. Um, so pre-market, I called this out. I said I will be looking for calls around 408.71 or prior day close, since that will be a pullback from the pre-market uptrend to continue. Price target will be 410. Long story short, this is my 5-minute time frame. In the beginning of the day, we were chopping sideways. Right around here in my demand zone. The first time we touched 408.71, which I called out, we touched it, boom, came back up. Long story short, we were chopping in the middle. So it was making me all the while this was chopping around after this bounce off 408, it was making me lose confidence in taking that trade off that level, simply because it didn't seem like we had a lot of buyers on that first push up, you know. So long story short, I was hesitating to pull the trigger. We pulled back again. And it's crazy. I remember I was actually thinking about hopping in the trade here, but I missed my entry. And I also was still a little bit hesitant because we were rejecting this demand zone, the top of my demand zone. We started to reject it, which was where my VWAP was laying too. So I was kind of, hesitant on taking that trade. But I just want to say that if you guys plan your trades out pre-market and you have a whole plan for it and you have the reasoning behind it, when your plan shows up, don't hesitate to take the trade, because that trade could be the trade that nets you the most profits this week or gets you to your goal. You know what I mean? And all because you didn't trust your own process, then you missed out on the trade. But as far as me, I was too busy trying to read the volume, and volume just wasn't adding up for me. So I just wasn't confident. So I couldn't pull the trigger. Long story short, I'll tell you guys about the other two trades that I took after I missed that. So after we broke above 410, I wanted to look for rejections around 411 or look for bounces off of 410 to take up to 411. Long story short, we didn't get no bounces off of 410, but we had some sort of rejection over here, this 411 area. So I first got in once we broke below, reclaimed, and kind of broke back down. I got in over here. This was 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35, 40, basically 45 minutes of chopping around that I had to sit through. With my stop loss, I had a mental stop loss above this area. Mental stop losses can be good and bad at the same time. But yeah, so I got in the trade over here on this candlestick. Stop loss, my mental stop loss was above this key level. We started trending above key level, and all the while I was trying to wait for a 5-minute candle close, which was this candle. Hopefully, I was hoping that the candle would look a little bit more bearish, so I can continue to hold the trade, because I thought we might break above and then immediately reclaim it, but we didn't. We held it. We were trending up pretty slow, but pretty steady all day, which is, showing relative strength on the day. And I've also noticed after days of important market data, say if we tank on CPI, the next day we usually have buyers step in, or vice versa. If we have buyers step in on CPI, the next day we usually tank. So I'm going to start trying to implement that and start, keeping a lookout for those kinds of moves after we have big market news, to try to take advantage of that. But yeah, so long story short, after we broke above here and I was trying to read volume, I was down about 150 something, almost 200. Yeah, it was like 200. Started to trail down, but I seen we were trending down on lowering volume. Give me one moment here. Yeah, as you can see here, these 3 volume bars, we were trending down as volume started to weaken. So sellers weren't really there. So, I really wasn't confident that we would reclaim this level. And we were bouncing off this 21-day EMA, which tends to hold up sometimes, well, majority of the time, actually. But yeah, so after I sold my contracts right up here, once we started to reclaim, and broke the previous high in this little area. Once we broke above 412, I wanted to look for a break and retest of this area, and I wanted to go with trend since, you know, all day we've been trending up. And I usually don't even trade this late, bro. This was 10:45. I'm usually done by 8:30, but what made me stay so late was because I didn't take any trades. I was just sitting there waiting around from market open until like 9:30 something. So that first trade that I took was a byproduct of me sitting there so long and wanting to get in a trade. Um, you know, but I'm trying to also work on that too. It was valid. I followed my plan, even though I could have waited a little longer till we actually hit this key level instead of waiting, because we were just trending around it. And I noticed once if we come up to a key level and don't touch it and we just kind of sit right under it and just, trade sideways, we usually tank, but that's not what happened today. So I stacked my probabilities, and in my eyes it was a good trade. We had room to the downside on SPY and on SPX, so it was a valid trade for me, even though it went against me. I shouldn't have lost as much as I've lost from it, but it's fine. I earned it back in my second trade. It's just something I'll work on now. I say it's fine, it's not really fine, you know what I mean, but it's fine. You live and you learn, especially in trading, guys. But other than that, the second trade that I took was up here. Once we broke this 412 area, I wanted to look for a retest of it. So we broke above and had a little retest right here. And I got in call options. They went from around $90 to around, I sold over here in this area. I sold my first 3 contracts at around $145 per contract, basically. And I sold my last, actually, I had a trailing stop loss on my last 3 that was hiding right under, right under this key level right here, right under this 9-day EMA. Since we were trending up all day, I usually use trailing stops when we are super trendy and going in one direction the whole day, because you can just kind of set your trailing stop loss and just walk away, honestly, and just let your profits accumulate. If they keep moving up and no pullbacks, then you just keep accumulating profit. It just automatically locks in your profit for you. So I like that. But I don't use that all the time, only when I'm, already in profits and price is just going in the same direction continuously. It's the only time I will really use a trailing stop on super trendy days. But other than that, contracts, contracts, if I didn't hesitate on this one trade, contracts went from 180 to $555 per contract. $555. But it's all good, man. This is why I love trading, because there will always be another opportunity. Anytime you feel like you're missing out or you have some FOMO, remember there will be another opportunity for you to get in a trade. The market will always be here. Tomorrow, the day after that, a year after that, 10 years after that, market will be here. So just got to learn some patience and learn to follow your own plan. And even if the trade goes against you, if you follow your own plan and do everything exactly according to your plan, that's a winning day for me, because you stack the probabilities in your favor. You make sure your risk to reward was good, and you executed your plan the way you planned to. So sometimes, some things just don't go as planned, but hey, that's what we account for in the trading world. But other than that, I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and let me know what you guys would like to see a video about next. But without further ado, I'll let you guys go ahead, because time is money, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.